Welcome everyone to the Vol Boys podcast. It's week 7 preview. We got Tennessee versus Arkansas. Tennessee coming off of a bye week this week. Just looking at this matchup, Levi. Obviously, Arkansas with a huge coaching change, putting Bobby Petrino as the interim head coach. He goes and fires 3 or 4 defensive staffers, including the defensive coordinator, trying to go bare bones on this defensive staff and really change things around, see if they can get something done. Because this is probably the worst defense in the SEC and one of the worst defenses in the country. What should we be looking for in this matchup? Obviously, a 4:15 kick in Neyland. Tennessee should be. The line has not dropped yet as a at the time of this recording of this video. Tennessee should be a 14-point favorite, I think, at least at home in this spot.
Yeah.
What kind of matchup are you looking for here?
I think the main thing about this game is how is Tennessee's defense gonna stop Arkansas's offense? I think that's the main thing. I think Tennessee's gonna be able to score on Arkansas very easily. They've been able to score on every team they've played. I don't see Arkansas's really bad defense being any different. So I think the main thing is can Tennessee stop Arkansas? And I think one thing to look for is Jermod McCoy. I think people are talking like there's a decent chance he might be back for this game. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not 100% sure on that. I think if he's back, I think that bodes very well for Tennessee because Tennessee has a very good DB playing right now in Colton Hood, who's been one of the best DBs in the country right now. Um, Getting Jermod back in there just gives you some more another body in that position that you need, as well as Jermon McCoy was one of the best DBs in the country last year. So I think that's going to be really good for uh, pass defense. And can they stop the run? I think that's going to be very important. Um,
Looking at the stats here, it's Taylon Green, their quarterback, is their leading rusher. What does that tell you about their running back room? Right, they're
it seems like it's
leaning
probably
on
not very
Taylon Green.
good.
They're leaning on Taylon Green to do everything for them right now, and he's executing at a high level for sure.
So yeah, you're going to definitely need to pay watch out for that. Keep him from running. Um, he's a good passer too, so he's a very good dual threat quarterback for them. So you just gotta keep an eye on that if you're Tennessee. I think Tennessee's gonna be prepared for it though, personally.
Yeah, so you went defensive side. I'll go a little bit offensive side for Tennessee here. Drop a couple stats for you real quick. So the Arkansas defense is has a is ranked 84th nationally overall. They're allowing 535 yards per game in losses. So they've given up a lot of yards. I've seen a lot of people say that this is probably one of the worst defensive lines in the SEC and one of the worst defensive lines in Power Four.
And Tennessee, I think, is one of the best offensive lines in the SEC right now.
Right. So that matches up well with us. We should be able to run the ball. And that's been one of my biggest issues with this offense so far is the inability to run, whether that's play calling and not wanting to stick with the run, or that's just run blocking in general. Because I mean, last game against Mississippi State, you didn't see us running the ball effectively at all. And to be fair, Joey Aguilar's been great throwing the football. He's having a great season so far. So we should have no issue at all scoring on them, especially at home. It should be very easy to put up 40 plus in this game. Especially we did that against Mississippi State, who has a way better defense. I saw they were ranked 31st nationally coming into today's game or Saturday's game against Texas A&M. So I'm really not worried about this offense. I'd really like to see Brazel involved.
I mean,
Um,
if Tennessee can score on Georgia, you think they're gonna. There's no way they're not scoring on Arkansas. I just
Right.
don't
So
think that's even
it's,
close to being a worry for Tennessee. It's
I mean,
also at home.
the biggest matchup is just how can this defense get stops and how can we not let one guy beat us?
And I think
You know, how
I
can we make
think
some
Tennessee's
plays?
defense is underrated. I think they get a lot more hate than they deserve. I think there's a lot of issues with the defense. So don't get me wrong there. But I think there's a lot of good things about this Tennessee defense. But sometimes it just seems like their negative aspects outweigh their good. But I mean, this is a team. The defense, honestly, kind of like the offense played pretty good against Mississippi State, but the defense really kind of won the game for them last week because there's two big scoring plays from the defense. So this defense is really good. They're really good at getting to the quarterback. They have one of the highest sack rates I think in the SEC, maybe even the country. And Colton Hood's played really good as well. And they've had two. I mean, the last game they had those two turnovers for touchdowns, so they're pretty good in turnovers as well. I just think they let up some big chunk plays sometimes, and they haven't been the greatest at tackling in some points. Like they do a lot of arm tackling, which is can be frustrating because then I think that's what's been rough for them for like stopping the run game is they've been kind of not the best at tackling running backs, and so the running backs get to the running back, but then the running back gets free and gets more yards than they should. So if they can just work on tackling, I think that's one of their biggest problems personally. And then they let up some big chunk plays here and there. They let a wide receiver get open, but that's a lot to do with the fact that a lot of the DBs are really young. Farouk
I'm also,
gets targeted a lot. He's a good player, but he's a freshman, so I mean he's gonna make freshman mistakes.
I'm also just curious about how we match up with a running quarterback. We haven't really faced one yet this season. Obviously, Gunnar Stockton doesn't run all that much.
The Syracuse
Uh,
guy doesn't run, and then you played
Syracuse guy doesn't
ETSU.
UAB, and then Blake Shapen. Like I said in a previous video, statue back there doesn't really run at all. So it's it'll be interesting because we have always struggled with a running quarterback, right? Running quarterback is the number one way I think that you get major upsets, right?
Yeah,
Uh, is the ability for a guy who's obviously a playmaker and Taylor Green leading the team in rushing and passing, obviously.
but
He's a play
I
he's their
think if
playmaker.
I think if Tennessee could get to the quarterback, I don't think that'll be an issue. I think a lot of times when Tennessee is getting in the past has been getting hurt by a running quarterback, it's because they've given the quarterback too much time and they start getting pressure and then the quarterback gets out. It's not a designed run. It's like I think they've done pretty well against designed runs with the quarterback. I think it's a lot of
That's
times a busted play where the quarterback runs is
but
where that's gotten us a lot more.
that proves my point though still with this quarterback. I mean, I'm how many of those are design runs? I'm not exactly sure. I haven't watched much of their games this year, but I know I remember last season he is a scrambling quarterback and he can make those plays. Um,
Just got to contain him.
I mean, and what happened last year? I mean, didn't we knock him out of the game last season?
I think I can't remember. That was a really low scoring game.
Pretty sure we knocked him out of the game last season. So, just I don't wish for that, but you just got to continue to keep pressure on him. And
And you got to
it
score points.
it does help that they faced this guy before, right? I mean, they faced him last season, so we know what to expect here, which is nice about playing the same schedule 2 years in a row. But
Well, I just think the Tennessee offense is very good, and they're just gonna no matter how the defense plays. I think Tennessee's just gonna score more points than Arkansas is gonna be able to score, and I think the Tennessee defense is they're not one of the best defenses in the SEC, but I think they're above average in my opinion for SEC defenses personally. But
I,
there's just a lot of flaws on Tennessee's defense.
like
They're
you said, I think we easily outscore them, and it's just I don't think this is a letdown spot for us either.
No,
Um,
especially since it's a home game.
I think it's kind of a get right spot. Obviously, you didn't lose that Mississippi State game, but this is kind of a game where obviously it could be a look ahead. You got Bama the following week. I think it's a get right spot.
It's also a little bit of a revenge game too, if you
Right.
think about it. I think a lot of these guys who were on this team last year want to come in here and punch Arkansas in the mouth and kind of just be like,
Maybe.
"Hey, you screwed us over last season. We're gonna show you why you suck. We're gonna punch you in the mouth." I think I think that could happen.
They're the reason why we single handedly didn't get. They're single handedly the reason why we did not host a home playoff game.
Yep.
So,
I mean, guys like Arian Carter might come into this game looking for some revenge, and
for
he
sure.
and I think he's gonna get it.
So, not only could this be like a get right game for us, but specifically for the defense, have a chance to have a good performance against
Good offense.
very good offense. So,
Just kind of prove themselves. This is a good game for the defense to show people that they're better than they think.
yeah, for sure. Any um any score prediction you got here?
Um, it's tough. I think Tennessee continues to score above 40 something points. I think they managed to maybe get into the 50s. Um, I think it's harder to kind of gauge where the amount of points Arkansas is going to score. But I guess I'm going to go. I'm trying to think. Like 52. I guess that's a score that makes sense, right? 52.
Yeah, that's actually a score I was going to use as well.
I think
So,
52. Ah, man. I'm thinking Arkansas gets 20 something. 28, 20, maybe 30. I don't know. 20 something. 25, 20, 27 maybe. 27-52. That's what I'll say.
I'm going to go 52-24. I
Okay.
think it's I think it's kind of it's a close enough game at halftime. I think it's like a 14-point game at half, and then I think we kind of just roll over them at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we both pretty much have a similar take on this game. I mean, we both said 52 and we both were in the 20s.
I have a really hard time seeing how we lose this game.
Yeah, I
There's
agree.
just
I mean, they just fired their coach too, and I mean that could be something that
that's the
helps
part
them win a
that's the
game.
part that scares me more than anything because you don't really know. Obviously, he was on the staff and stuff, but you don't exactly know what his philosophy game plan is,
I mean,
especially
my
with
thing
teams like that.
is he's not there's not much changing with this defense, and he was calling the plays from before. So I get it. He's probably a better coach than Sam Pittman, but I don't see how much changes because I mean, it's pretty much it's the same exact offensive staff. It's a new defensive staff probably, but I mean it's an interim defensive staff. So I mean,
Doesn't change the personnel that they have either, which is a really, really bad secondary and a really, really awful defensive line that we should be able to push around.
yeah, I just personally don't see much changing. But I
Yeah,
mean, we'll see next week, I guess.
yeah. I also think it's kind of like to end it off here. I kind of think it's one of those games where if you get a weird interception or a weird like blocked punt return, this game will get ugly for Arkansas really fast. This is a potential where we score 21, 28 points in the first quarter and it's over.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
watch out for that hot start. We've been having those again this season, similar to 2022 team. I think it's definitely one of those spots where it could be 21-7, 28-7 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
But yeah, with that, we will end it here. We appreciate you guys tuning in to this week's episode of the preview of week 7. Hoping for a big win on Saturday. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tune in for our videos coming up next week. We'll be doing another 3 video drop, so stay tuned for that. Uh, but yeah, Go Vols.
See ya.